Hey everyone, I have some Star Wars news for you today, some speculation, a rumor, and some confusing information because honestly, I don't know what we're getting from the new Disney Plus expansion for Star Tours when it opens on April 5th. So, in case you don't know, Star Tours The Adventures Continue at Disney World, Disneyland, and Disneyland Paris are all set to receive what's described as all new adventures from Star Wars Disney Plus shows. But the language Disney is using to describe these new adventures is confusing and even a bit contradictory. So, for reference, let's break down how Star Tours The Adventures Continue is organized. Ever since Star Tours became Star Tours The Adventures Continue back in 2011, the ride experience has been divided into an opening, a destination, a hologram, and an ending destination. And given all the variables for each of these segments, there are over 700 different possible ride experiences, all of which are chosen at random. Now, at Disney's Destination D23 event last September, Disney announced that Star Tours The Adventures Continue was gaining a Disney Plus expansion, and they name dropped Ahsoka. In the months that followed, Ahsoka was no longer the focus, and Disney began to allude to other characters, but they never quite defined who they were. That all changed on March 5th when the Disney Parks blog announced that the Star Tours Disney Plus update would open on April 5th, and they shared some new information. And the following quote is from the Disney Parks blog. Star Tours The Adventures Continue will be taking you on some all new adventures. These new additions will feature characters and locations from some of your favorite Disney Plus new series, Ahsoka, Andor, and The Mandalorian. Now, Ahsoka, again, already knew that one. That was confirmed. The Mandalorian was not confirmed initially, but fans expected this because of Baby Yoda's popularity. The real surprise, though, was Andor, especially since it's one of Lucasfilm's more adult Star Wars shows. But given how great it is, I'm thrilled and impressed that they chose to include it. The Disney Parks blog post also shared the following. With these additions, you'll now have an opportunity to experience one of more than 250 storyline variations aboard the attraction, including a visit to the planet Peridia from the Ahsoka series. Now, for those who didn't watch Ahsoka or just simply don't remember, Peridia was that new planet located in a completely different galaxy, which is where Thrawn and Ezra had been trapped. So, we know Peridia is a destination for the new Star Tours. But here's where it gets really confusing. On Disney's media site, the Disney Plus expansion is described as introducing a new destination, as in one, not plural. If Peridia is all we're getting, this is frustrating for fans of The Mandalorian and Andor, and it's a little deceptive in my opinion, since the Disney Parks blog used the term new adventures. But here's where it gets even more confusing. The teaser video for Star Tours The Adventures Continue update showed a Star Wars star speeder flying over Cetos. That was the planet where Ahsoka nearly died, and through a pod of Purrgil, which are Star Wars space whales. If you don't know, don't worry about it, it's a long story. So the question now is whether we're just getting one destination or not. If it's one, I think they could explain these basically two planets by starting us off amongst the Purrgil and then jumping to Technicolor hyperspace and then going to Peridia. But again, we just don't know. It's a bit unclear. And if Ahsoka planets are all we're getting, does this mean Mando and Grogu and Andor are just holograms or little cameos on the screens that interrupt in the middle of a battle? I'm hoping for something more than either one of these options. Also, Brendan Wayne, who's one of the actors who plays Mando, confirmed on Instagram that he was the one who filmed Mando's part for the update, which makes me think they're doing more than just a hologram or little video for Mando and Grogu. One possibility may be that each ride experience only guarantees one new destination from a Disney Plus show, instead of offering destinations from all three shows in a single ride. This could also be why Disney hasn't come out and said whether any of the new scenes are guaranteed with each ride like they have for previous updates. But still, we just don't know what we're getting from Star Tours on April 5th. And while all this may make sense after riding the attraction, I do think fans should tamper their expectations a bit just in case, and hopefully Disney will over-deliver. But regardless of what we get, this is an incredibly important update. It's the first time Star Wars Disney Plus characters have gotten any sort of presence in a Disney park ride. And if these scenes were filmed with the volume, this could set a trend for how future Disney park attractions are made. Finally, Star Tours is just simply historic. It was one of the first non-Disney rides, as Disney didn't own Lucasfilm in the 80s, and Disneyland Star Tours stayed open for 60 hours to meet fan demand when it debuted. Now, connected to Star Wars Disney Plus making its Disney Park attraction debut, a interesting rumor surfaced on the interwebs this week concerning a Mandalorian roller coaster. This rumor was reported by Passport Wonderland and showed what Disneyland Paris has in mind for an upcoming expansion, which includes its own Star Wars land and a roller coaster themed after The Mandalorian. Now, I probably wouldn't share a rumor from a source I'm unfamiliar with, but this report did get picked up by a few reliable outlets, and if it's true, it means there is a whole new vision for a Star Wars land from Disney Imagineering, and one likely rooted in Disney Plus, and one that takes place after the original trilogy. Also, while Rise the Resistance is a masterpiece, there has been talk of a Star Wars roller coaster since the 80s. A Mandalorian roller coaster could finally realize that idea, and along with Baby Yoda having a ride, it's possible we could get other Mandoverse characters, including Luke Skywalker. There's also the fact that the Galactic Star Cruiser is going to be used for something at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Whether Imagineering has Disney Plus expansion plans in the works for Walt Disney World as well as Disneyland Paris, and if Star Tours is just the start, will be interesting to see. Please stay tuned for more about what's actually happening with this addition to Star Tours The Adventures Continue and any other Disney news. Thanks so much for listening.
Hi there! I see they're loading our Navigator R2-D2, and then we'll be on our way. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.